one of the things we always talk about is the older generation contra la nuevo. You know, la generación antigua de nuestros padres a lo que somos hoy. We have a lot to learn from them. I think we've always said that. And it's a good foundation, pero las cosas son diferentes ahora. How have you seen, like, growing up 15, 20 years ago, you know, hard knocks, your mom working, my parents working double jobs, to where we're at today? Have we become softer as a society?
I mean, it's a different world.
It's a different world. Yeah, I don't want to say soft.
Yeah, it's a different world for them. I think, well, today people have the language for certain things that's happening to them. But our parents and our folks, you know, our OGs, they went through a lot. They went through a lot, calladitos.
Yes, eso es la cosa. Exacto. Vinieron a este país, no reconocían el idioma, hay que aprender algo nuevo y se pusieron a trabajar duro. And they made they built a world for us. And that worked back then.
Yeah.
And if today's generation, they have to put working hard, progression, parallel to having access to education, que eso no es justo. El racismo no debe ser bueno. Siempre va a existir. Pero you're right, I think that was the topic we were talking about, is like, we have forgotten so much of the old stuff. Our parents put their heads down, walk. They probably got called racial slurs, pero no importaba. Ahora se ponen a llorar. To a certain extent, that is correct, because it's not acceptable.
Yeah.
Pero si le vas al poder a alguien que te afecte el día así, o tu camino, ¿quién es el que pierde? ¿El idiota o vos?
I think, como eso dices, that's, pasó de moda, because we need to walk in confidence.
Explain to everybody what pasó de moda. Me and you always talk.
Esto pasó de moda. It's a new world. And there are things in the past that our communities that we used to do that don't work anymore, and that we can't just allow it anymore.
It's natural.
We're authentic right here.
You're good.
It's good.
Bueno, la ignorancia ya pasó de moda.
La ignorancia pasó de moda.
El racismo ya pasó de moda.
Ese helicóptero ahí pasó de moda.
Eso no es estudio. Aquí no hay estudio. But I think the reason we were talking about pasó de moda, it's like out of style, is whack.
Yeah.
Like in today's day, racism is ugly. But that will always be around, so why would you lie to someone saying que el racismo va a terminar? Eso siempre va a existir.
Being meek, eso pasó de moda. We don't have to step into every room. You like making yourself smaller.
Yeah.
Like when you step into a room, people notice that you step into.
But it took time. So with all due respect to everybody watching, que lo que pasó de moda is a years of experience, que uno se pone más duro, and that's what it is. So racism will always exist. Pero in the way that you let it impact you, we have control of that. And so we always talk about that. Eso ya pasó de moda, bro. Si vas a estar llorando que el racismo existe, eso ya pasó de moda. Put your head down and work. Put your head down and do something about it. Not violent. We don't condone that.
I think we can call it out. And one of the things that happened to me is that you become succumbed by it. That's all you think about.
Yeah.
You're not, Toni Morrison, she mentions that it's racism is a distraction and prevents us from being ourselves.
Yeah, that is correct. But that takes discipline.
That takes discipline. It takes discipline.
Yeah.
It's a constant thing.
The situation that you dealt with probably a year ago with that restaurant that didn't seat you, they didn't greet you, and you felt it was based upon appearance.
And our own people too.
It's our own people. Yes, it's our own people. And so that's a moment that I called you up and I say, hey, ellos son los ignorantes. Your kid still needs to eat. You still need to go support small businesses, because that come mierda waiter o mesera no representa el hogar.
One thing, now that you mentioned that, one thing that I learned from you is that no matter, we're not going to be perfect to each other. We are going to falter, we are going to do certain things, right? Pero, it's not always. You don't hold any grudges, right?
Yeah, I try not to.
I try
not to.
No,
a lot of people watching say, "Nah, bro, Armando hasn't talked to me in 9 years."
I mean, in certain things like businesses like that, for instance, it's like, yeah, well, I went through that with them, and I'm like, the point is that I don't want them to go under.
Yes.
Because it's our people at the end of the day. You know, I want them to eventually maybe rectify certain things, pero now I'm not going to push them aside. I'm not going to put an iceberg and get out of here.
People are always going to talk about, you know, relationships, familia. Well, if you think about relationships and family, you know, you go through your ups and downs and challenges. I think we become in a system where we can't disagree no more.
There is a movement right now of people saying, I'm not going to have around me people who are not of the same political beliefs as me. And I'm like, first of all, I think that's impossible.
Yeah. Well,
not everyone is going to agree with you in every single little thing that you do. And it's also, and I do get when people say, you know, if your hate is rooted in my own destruction, then I'm not going to be around you. That's fine. That's fine. But I don't think most people operate from that level of I'm trying to destroy you.
Yeah, and I genuinely think that la gente no le gusta la división que tenemos.
No,
I genuinely think that it hurts more people of this division. And what that means is don't be so quick to walk away from someone without trying to talk to them how it made you feel, because everyone's different from certain experiences, you know? We were just in a room with 50% Latino MAGA. And I don't know, unless they're ignorant, unless they're causing harm, unless they're insulting me, I'm okay with that because I want to try to understand why they feel that way. One was in the army, one, you know, or this side too, you know, that they don't want to work and they want to fight on social media instead of get to work, you know, impact the people around you. So maybe some people might get mad that, oh, Armando should do da. Nah, la cosa es que a mí no me gusta predetermine a person based upon something they may not be knowledgeable about.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, they don't have, either they don't have the resources or even it could be a survival thing.
Yeah. I talked to, you know, with all these raids that's coming up, you know, let me explain that. They talk about businesses are impacted because of the raids. I get that. However, those businesses chose to hire those people and chose to go la mayoría sin papeles. So, number one, did they think about that if something happens to them, your business doesn't move forward? And then what's your family going to do? What are those employees going to do? You know,
some of them voted for this too.
Exactly.
So they're getting.
Yeah, exactly. Bueno, yeah, that's correct. Pero la solución es que educarse. So like when I get with a group and like the other day I was talking to 100 people. That is so cool. That is so, but just make sure it doesn't bite you.
Yeah, they're probably looking for food, no rabies.
Yeah, so I said to them, listen, the reality is, prepárense por lo feo.
Sí.
Stopping it is tough because the politicians don't do shit. Ellos no hacen nada. Que no donan los latinos. Ok, ¿qué han hecho ustedes para los latinos? Pero uno se puede defender.
No puede defender.
Si yo le dije a todos los cocineros, oye, si ustedes tienen algo con la ley, trouble with the law, you're putting everyone at risk. Lay low, protect yourself, you know? And I told the owners that too, say, hey, if you hire 100% undocumented and someone is, you know, at risk of bringing the whole business at risk, their families are more important than your business, or just as. Entonces, aprovechense de aprender cómo defenderse. That in that way.
There's one thing too, in that aspect, that there are people who get complacent, and they could have gotten, you know, their papers ages ago.
Facts.
And now we're in this mess.
Yeah.
Ahora, you know, like you're saying, they put themselves in danger. Everybody else in danger. I mean, right now we're here, but I say to people, I would say, and I'm pretty sure you agree with it, it's like, get your documents in order.
Protect yourself.
Protect yourself.
Know what your options are.
Know what your options are.
Yeah, know what your options are.
Porque we're not saying, you know, you gotta, como que
Listen, man, my mom and dad came here leaving, you know, war-ridden country, Nicaragua, and ellos vinieron aquí, aprendieron el idioma, avanzaron, consiguieron trabajo, and I think that it's not that we did it right and no one else did. I think that the more times we tell people, you know, the winning outcomes, more people become open to what's possible.
That's right.
Y protegerse. I don't like seeing innocent people being taken advantage of. So let's help them protect themselves by what's going on. You know, it's funny, I was just in Miami y alguien me dice, no, yo soy legal. But he clearly has an accent. And nowadays they're stereotyping based upon appearance.
It's true.
Even you and I.
Yep.
So we would be ignorant to think that us ourselves, now we can defend ourselves, somos citizens, somos ciudadanos, but esa es la realidad de este mundo. And I think that's the thing that we talk about, the old generation versus the new, es que aceptar cómo ha cambiado la sociedad.
And walk with confidence. Because I think other people smell it. They smell the fear. They smell the insecurity. They smell it. So if you walk into any room, one of the things that we talked about earlier, that you said imposter syndrome. Pasó de moda. Because a lot of our people have that, right?
Imposter syndrome is, I
don't think we've ever had that.
we never had it, but we know it exists. So like, I was at Trader Joe's the other day, and I was going to line, and the cajero says to me, I'm closed. As soon as I move over, he takes the next lady. What nationality do you think the other lady was? Okay, we'll leave it at that, because I don't want no race war. Entonces, someone could have had options as enojarse. 2, become a Karen. And there's no way I would ever become a Karen. My mom and dad raised un hijo con orgullo, you know?
Sí.
So I walked up to him. He works there. I'm a customer. He cannot get violent with me or he'll lose his job or get in trouble. So I said to him, why did you tell me you were closing and then you take this lady?
Oh, wow.
I said to him, but I also know that I can say whatever I want, pero tampoco me voy a hacer un caballo. So I said to him, I didn't raise my voice because I don't want him to say this customer threatened me. He's 6'3", he was 5'5", short man's complex. Y entonces se quedó así asustado.
That might be, now that you say that might be a lot more impactful.
Yes, it was.
You're talking about becoming a Karen. That might come from insecurity in itself or self-importance.
Or racism.
I mean,
que existe. Eso ya pasó de moda. But like Dave Chappelle said, he's the one that has the cashier, not me.
But he's going to be thinking about that.
Well, when I confronted him, he started panicking like the kid in the movie The Sixth Sense. And the 2 cashiers that I now went looked at him and said, and gave him a look like, you did that to him? He's here every week.
That's messed up.
I walked out saying, that was awesome. Because you have 2 cashiers that looked at this guy, que eran blanquitos también, and they said, that was not right, bro. He's a regular customer. But I didn't let it enrage me. I didn't let it piss me off. I just said, how did you, I confronted, I didn't even expect an answer, which most Karens will, and I didn't.
When I was younger, when I used to say that moments like that, they'll be in my head for ages, right? And that weighs you down.
Yeah.
That whole dark cloud that is following you around. Yeah. And you don't want that. I get we go through things, right? Yeah. And we got to respond at the moment.
Yeah.
Pero dwelling on that's not good for the soul.
It's not. And you're right. In the long run, like you said, it's the discipline and the strength, because I remember 20 years ago, they made fun of my dad's accent. And I was heated, I went up to the cashier and I remember looking back now, I shouldn't give ignorant people that much power. Eso ya pasó de moda. Ellos son los babosos trabajando ahí. And I had to tell my dad, papi, eso no es racismo, eso es ignorancia. And it helped my dad cope with that incident.
So it's sort of like the reverse of you becoming the sensei.
Yeah, like we talked about, este tema, eso pasó de moda. It's to help people understand, to empower the ignorance on how to control, I guess, when it comes.
Because we are mainly reactive, right? We mainly in defense.
Yeah.
We should be proactive.
Queremos ser macho.
Yeah. We should walk. I mean, one of the things that I do like about you is that when you step into rooms, even the way that you carry yourself when you live your life, it's not just reactive to what's going on around you. It's you building the world. When it comes to social media, when it comes to building a legacy through media, right? Not a lot of people. A lot of people do want to do it, pero nunca, they don't take that step. And you've been pushing people to do that. What is that? Why are you telling people?
I think my grandma used to say, "Hay que contar los amigos en una mano." And so I was, with time, as I become more mature, es no importante tener tantos amigos. Lo que es importante es estar feliz, contento, tranquilo. And so it's I'm not perfect, man. Look, I went through a health scare recently, y ese por el estrés, But, eso fue You're gonna live life trying to change others, you're gonna change yourself. Esa es la cosa. And even you, when I talk to you, you know, some of the challenges we all face and sometimes you feel disrespected, and I'm like, don't let those morons disrespect you, man. You're the top of your game. Tener los dos idiomas, dominar los dos idiomas, tener tu familia, tener tu salud. You know, tener un círculo fuerte. Like, you know, why do you think you get so angry?
Oof, I think that goes all the way back.
Yeah.
You know, from my childhood. You know, when you.
Estamos en Nueva York, bro.
Estamos en Nueva York. It's, you know, when you're from a big family too.
Yeah.
It's like you have to. I wouldn't say fight for scraps.
Yeah. Survival.
Survival. But in order to survive and be noticed and I get, you know, our parents and our grandparents, they didn't have the time and resources, porque somos muchos.
Yeah.
Right, and then no hay tanto dinero, no hay tanta. There's not a lot of time for them to be there for us. So I think that it stems from that of, you know what, now I'm an adult and now I can speak up for myself a lot more.
Yeah.
Pero on the other side of that, I can be, you know, overblown.
Yeah.
With those things.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, it takes discipline. Before, it used to be worse. I think, well, you've met me. ¿Cuánto? What, 10?
15 years.
15 years ago?
Yeah. No, we've definitely grown.
I was like, a pelear. I was just ready to. And don't get, I'm still, you know, I'm still from the hood.
Yeah.
Si alguien se mete conmigo, I am, but I try to avoid those things, right?
Oh,
and if somebody gets at me too, you know, I try to be like, you know what? I have better things to do with my life. You know, I have a family, and also for myself too. You know, but so for me, yeah, I'm steering away from that whole being so combative, right? Because I'm not getting anything from that.
El tema es eso pasó de moda.
Pasó de moda. I'm not getting anything from that, and I'm also, you know, I know it's cliche, but it's like building on the positive.
Yeah.
Instead of just focusing so much on the we have so much negative stuff.
Yeah,
surrounding us, not exactly.
But it's like you said, it's normal to focus. It's normal to see the negativity around us in la sociedad, en las redes sociales, every aspect of life. And I'm not trying to be, you know, Mr. Positive, como que soy eso, because I'm far from perfect. Pero I have learned to every day apply to apreciar lo positivo que hay en esta vida.
Sí.
Maybe it's because I almost died 4 months ago.
Oof.
You know.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, no.
Pasó de moda. We're not taking care of ourselves, especially Latino men.
Yeah, you know.
In terms of and although you do take care of yourself, like you.
I did, but I never took care of myself on what I should have. And so, you know, like I told you, I had chest pains one morning. Fast forward, the medical system is so jacked up. 10 cosas que me hicieron, 9 están estúpidos. 1 hicieron bien. I'm alive. Mm-hmm. But had I checked my blood pressure, que hay veces que nosotros no podemos ir, no queremos ir porque tenemos asusto, tenemos miedo, o no queremos medicación, I'm telling you, everyone should get themselves checked out. Mm-hmm. Everyone should get on medication so that you can transition to the life without medication if you don't need it. Porque el doctor me dice, hay veces que es genetics.
Yeah.
So I'm not condoning getting on medication. I'm condoning getting checked out, sin pena, sin miedo. And if you gotta take medications for transitional purposes, but you're alive, bro, I got a dissection aneurysm in my aorta. Wow. Entonces, eso ya está, bro, eso is a life changer for me. But had I been checked out, had I not been worried about medication, yo no estuviera con esto.
Hey, many of us are glad that you're here, man, because you matter to us. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you in terms of that is that, what do you think stops us, right? What gives us that miedo, right, of not actually going out there?
Well, I could see why, though, man. Let me tell you, when they had those 2 IVs on me and they're pumping morphine medication on me and I'm coherent speaking, you know, hallucinations, and, you know, if it weren't for my brother, I'd be dead. I would, because they actually had me call my family because it was a high-risk surgery to keep me alive. Mm-hmm. And as my mom and my tío Toño said, that el milagro ya estaba hecho porque estoy vivo. Look at me right now, you don't even think anything happened to me.
Yeah, you look good, man.
Pero me estoy cuidando and taking medication. Pero con tiempo I want to get off of it. I want to reduce it. I know it's a journey.
Yeah.
But going back to your question, el miedo es que we all have we don't have good experiences growing up, from the dentist to the doctor, ni nada. And no one likes to take their blood work and then come with the exams. I think that's the fear. And I'm not saying there's no reality to it. All I'm saying is what's scarier is having your life be altered.
That's true.
Entonces es todo. But, you know, you and I always talk about just helping people laugh at ignorance. Look, it doesn't sound right that we laugh at ignorant people, but it's about giving us control to not be impacted by uno come mierdas.
I like that.
Yeah, so
I do, you know, a lot of people see me because of my advocacy, right? I used to do for so many years ago. And we do it differently, right? You do your own type of by living.
There's different forms of
Yeah, different forms. And one of the things that a lot of people used to get taken aback is by me always joking around. Always making fun of the ignorant people.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, why are you making fun of them? Why aren't you this stoic? Why aren't you always serious? I'm like, nah, that's not really me. That's not authentic. That's like me trying to put a point to people who don't even like me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm trying to impress. You know, and one of the things, besides that, right, you mentioned that your brother were around, right? One of the things that I do see now with younger folks, right, and some people here is that there's like a loneliness epidemic, right? But we need community, and that's one of the things that you embody.
We need community. Give me
community of having people around you, of having
100%. No,
you have people around you that love you.
People think you and I are strong, but we're like everybody else too.
Yep.
And so when I say community, to me it means different. That's why I asked you to clarify it. Para mí, to have people around you that can support you when you're down and inspire you to be better, because one of the most important commodities in life is el tiempo.
Yeah.
Entonces, for me, I'm quick to walk away from la come mierdería, and I'm quick to learn from someone. And so it's important, man. Let me tell you, when I walk every day and I look upstairs and I thank God, daily agradecido, I really do mean that. Like, I'm very blessed to have people like you in my life and the circle that I have, because I ask for more sometimes than I give back. And so it creates an accountability.
I think maybe you don't see the way that you influence, maybe at this point, right? The way people, that you influence people around you, right?
Yeah.
That you inspired a lot of people. Which is great.
And don't like.
And you also build bridges. You are the only person I know that build these bridges like no other. You connect a lot of great people with each other to.
I think it's win-win. When I grew up thinking win-win. What is it I can do for you? But when I meet someone who asks first, I'm like, why should I give you? You don't even know you, bro.
Why do you think eso pasó de moda that people hold on to? What would you call that? Their network, right?
Ultimately, it's self-validation seeking. You used to call it seeking validation from others, but you used to call it white validator syndrome. Yeah. Existen todos los aspectos de la vida.
Sure.
And then learning, like I learned from you that shit 15 years ago. White validator syndrome. Yeah. Or some people go on social media, está bien, maybe in the beginning I was like, that's stupid. But now I look at like, okay, something must have been hurting them. And I'm not trying to be a Deepak Chopra, pero si está en mi círculo, then I'm going to say, is everything okay? Is everything okay? Life goes on, because I could have not had life.
But you don't think, what you're talking about, the resources, right? Because there are people who are hoarders, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, they do have that scarcity of, and I get it. You also say you have to have the right people around you, right?
Yeah.
But when you come across other people, you don't put a wall for in terms of networking, right? Yeah. Because I've seen you connect. You tell people everywhere you go, you're always connecting people to other people. You're not like, I'm not gonna hold this space only for me.
En el caso mío diferente. En el caso mío, I've gone through two life-threatening, life-changing situations. And the only reason I'm alive, and I know this, is because God knows that in my heart, I try to be the best, and I give back for Him giving me life. The moment Él ve que yo me estoy aprovechando de lo que me ha dado, I get scared of that moment.
So you feel that your blessings get multiplied when you're giving.
The blessings he's given me, I owe him. For the blessings with the cancer scare to the heart scare, yo le debo algo. Yo le debo a él la vida. And so that's why I think I'm doing that. But I think I'm really good at also saying, nah, ese es como mierdería, eso ya pasó de moda. You know, eso no es humilde, eso es inseguridad.
So right now you're talking about faith, right? There is also a movement of, you know, people who are falling on. They're not as faithful. No, I wouldn't say faithful. Their belief system.
They're not
right?
as faith-based.
They're not as based as it used to be. But that also brings in that loneliness epidemic.
Yeah.
That on how to, you know, communicate with people around them. So, do you think your faith has? You're saying it right now. Has helped you live the way that you live right now.
It's the only way I can explain why I'm still alive.
Wow, that's deep.
It's the only way.
Que, estamos hablando cosas, hemos dicho muchas cosas that I know that some people are going to connect with, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, they get something out of the things that we're saying. And when they see us out there, man, connect with us.
Yeah.
Que ha pasado de moda, you know, you keeping it to yourself. You're walking the world by yourself, being solo. Now we just gotta, you know, join forces with others out there. What do you think of that?
Nah, I think you're right. I think that one by one, if you find someone that helps you and you help them back, I think it builds a stronger bond. It's gotta be two-sided, it can't be one-sided. Those relationships don't last a long time.
That's true.
If it's one-sided.
That's true.
Entonces hay que dar más de lo que uno pide. You know, and let's go talk about this.
Yeah.
Me and you, we're responsible. We don't make excuses. We don't play the victim mentality, but we are empathetic.
Yeah.
Right? We are empathetic. And I think we've lost that as a society, but we've sometimes forget that telling people to be responsible is an option as well. Right? And so I think that, you know, I talk to people all the time and it's hard for me not to react to them, but we came the right way. And they're no longer us. Well, you're still the same. It's just different parts of your book.
One of the things that I remember from Barrio Chino, the episode with Jen, is that you said, you know, if I come across a bully, you know, I'm gonna respond to them. I'm not gonna. What does that stem from? Because that, you know, it's aligned with what you just said right now.
Yeah, I got lucky. I was in ESL.
Yeah.
You know, I had big ears. Parezco chino, soy chino. But I was in ESL. I didn't speak English. I was born in Nicaragua. Armando Jose Tam, there's no way. And I remember how cruel. Now, I was also tall for my age. My father era un karateca.
You break all the stereotypes of.
No, I got lucky. I got lucky. Pero I was in ESL and I saw the way kids were already cruel at that time. And I got made fun of. But I guess it didn't impact. Like today, there's bullyism. Back then, it was bullyism, but because I had so much love at the house. But I also know that not everybody has that foundation, so I have to figure that out. Pero en esos tiempos, yo veía esos chavalitos, you know, how being so rude. So I remember saying, nah, I'm not gonna let that happen to my peoples, you know. But my dad put me in martial arts. You know, I had thick-skinned older cousins that always kind of, you know, toughened me up. Entonces, you know, I'm a jerk, you know, I could defend myself, you know, but so if I see someone bullying someone who can't fight back, I think of my childhood on all those bullies.
And you had one key thing that you said, that you had a support system at home.
I did, and not everyone does.
Which should, as a community, think of that for our children, so they can develop that strong mindset.
Just because they're family doesn't mean they're gonna love you.
That's true.
That is more common now than it was back then. I know a lot of people that are great people, and sometimes I look at how the injustice, the lack of empathy and love and community, how they treat their kids or who my friends, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, number one, gracias a Dios, que I have the best parents in the world. Gracias a Dios. So that triggers me to have empathy for someone. And I can't tell them you should do this because I don't know what it is to be in that. That's my biggest thing when people try to tell people what to do. You haven't been where I'm at. That's why I like the Cypress Hill. How do you know where I've been, where you haven't been, where I'm coming from, right? So to me, I always stand up, and that's where I'm not good at. Eso pasó de moda, we can laugh. Pero si yo veo un racismo, un racista, yo veo un bully, like I'll go treat them, like I tell, no, I'm not a bully, but I will treat you the way you treat people.
Because it's reactive too.
Now my dad's gonna say, ¿qué te importa vos? I get it. And I'm not perfect, that's why I say it. Pero si yo veo a alguien bullying a alguien, then I'm gonna go bully them. Because I can.
And it'll most likely stop the behavior.
Yeah, well, martial arts also teaches you not to fight. So trust me, I just treat them the way they treat people. I'm not trying to fight them or beat them down. That's not my thing.
Have you seen the reception from that? How do people react after do they pull back from being?
Oh yeah, no, big time. They
so it
but I don't want to be like I'm the hero walking around the park protecting people.
Man, you are.
No, I don't say so. No, I don't want to jinx myself. Someone with my ass.
You're saying you also don't want to sacrifice yourself para todo el mundo in a way,
Yeah, no, that's why Paso de Moda exists.
Yeah.
Right? Paso de Moda exists. Ese racismo, esa ignorancia, ese lack of empathy, forgetting where you came from is my biggest thing. Don't forget, when you make fun of someone that doesn't have it like you do, at some point, that person was your grandparents who came to this country. Y es lo que me cae mal.
Eso me cae mal.
Eso ya me cae mal. Like, bro, So, yeah, that's what I do. I don't like to be a hero, but eso me jode. Cuando yo veo un bully o racista, then I give them a dose of their own medicine. But I know I shouldn't. But the result, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably 100% racist. It's probably the best thing I did in my life. Is protect those who got bullied.
And I think also one of the things that you said, looking back at our elders, right? There's a lot of disrespect.
Yeah.
In social media as well.
Yeah.
Of the way that they're made fun of. Also, they're being dismissed. And one thing that you spoke about earlier is that we use their stories, right, as we're exploiting their story instead of like maybe they should have gone through that, right? And maybe,
because they didn't have the access.
We use it for, even though we didn't go through the things that they went through. People do exploit their stories to a point of, you know what, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of what they did.
What you're talking about right there just reminds me, that's why I like talking to you.
Yeah.
I am the way that I am because of my experience. And when I see other people that are, what you're saying, nice and there to help and not critique and judge, when I see other people do that who haven't been what I've been through, I admire that even more. See, I come from a place of immigrants, multiple families in one household. So when I see someone who grew up with a better upbringing than me still have empathy and heart, yo admiro a esa persona más que yo. Más que yo me miro a mí. That's dope. That means that
it's coming from them without any influence.
You got it. They were born into it, where I had to be raised by it.
That's powerful, man.
Yeah. So that's why I admire. There's some cool. Listen, there's cool every nationalities because not everybody chooses de donde nacen. And so no, go ahead.
I agree when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing that I think Paso de Moda is, we building up walls for everybody else. We need allyship. We need friends and family from anywhere, no matter the color, no matter the immigration, where they're from, or the nationality.
I was in Miami the other day, and no cancel culture shit here. Pero it's clearly que él parecía como the ones that they put in Alligator Alcatraz. Y entonces yo le pregunto en español, ¿cómo están las cosas? Boom, boom, boom. ¿Tienes miedo? ¿Lo que está pasando? Y digo, yo soy legal. And I said, ya sé que sos legal, yo también. Pero vos no pareces legal, ni tampoco yo. Y me dice, chama, estoy de acuerdo.
It doesn't matter.
Dos de mis primos lo llevaron preso allá. Y ahí dice, y entonces, ¿qué hicieron ellos? Uno no hizo nada, el otro sí vendía.
Okay.
And I said, hey, protégete. Pero lo que quiero que vos aprendas es que, aunque vos me dijiste que vos sos legal, nosotros no parecemos legal. Y hay que protegerse.
You're still a target.
Yeah. And then, obviously G was like, I can't believe you asked him that. I said, well, because I didn't try to judge him. I tried to ask, how's it going? Because I went to Miami, it was dead. estaban muertos porque la mayoría de la gente están asustados.
Is it ghost town?
Yeah, legal or not, you look like it. Us, bro, ahí no importan. Entonces yo también me tengo que proteger, educarme.
exactly.
So it wasn't to judge. I don't judge, you know. I want to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
How has your horizon opened? You were Dominican from the East Coast. And now with social media, you have friends from coast to coast, from all of Latinidad. How has that fulfilled you? I'm going to answer your question right now. How has that enlightened you and made you a better person?
For the longest time, when you're in the East Coast, right? Estamos más juntos y revueltos with so many different communities. I think you had that in where you were raised in, ¿cómo que se llama allá?
The Bay Area.
The Bay Area, which is a lot more like the East Coast, by the way.
Pilo said it best. I rep the coast, but I do it for the Bay. Because I'm a Giants fan, I'm a Dove fan, Niner fan, forget the LA teams.
So even, you know, from high school, you know, going to college as well, people, you know, there were little groups that they had their own little crews that they would say to me, Cesar, why are you hanging out with the Blanquitos? Why are you hanging out with the Indians? Or the East Indians? Why are you hanging out with, you know, with the Chinos? And one of the things that I told them is, like, I sit down with everybody because they're just like you. They want the same things as you.
Yep.
They love their families. They want their best for their families and their communities. I don't see a major difference in the way that they act. And whoever welcomes me, it's family to me. You know, and that's how I.
Oh, but I think that's because you weren't born here.
That's true.
La mentalidad de un latino, un inmigrante latino, es diferente que el latino nacido acá.
That's true. That's true.
Right? And this is real talk.
Yeah.
For me, I guess I was a nerd to learn. I like to learn. My mom and dad raised me to apreciar and to learn. Entonces, when I meet a Dominican, a Puerto Rican, a Cuban, anyone not Nicaragüense, anyone not Mexican or Salvadorian, which is primarily the West Coast, the music is different. The food is different. Las costumbres, igual.
Yeah, so that meeting folks, you know, Latinos from so many different parts of the country and the world is a continuation of that. Of, you know,
but a lot of people don't get it.
They don't get it.
They want territorial shit.
That's
Bro, I'll be just as good eating, you know, Dominican food with you than a taqueria in LA. Comida china in Oakland. And so that's why I appreciate the music. You know, my brothers grew up on Mac Dre, you know, Too Short, you know, West Coast stuff. And I grew up on the East Coast stuff. Like, I like Jay-Z, I like Nas, you know. And then there was a freestyle era, which was our original hip hop.
So you're saying hip hop music in general also open up that space for you to be.
That's a good segment.
Because you're asking me, you know, because now what about you? How
because you came at an older age.
I did come at an older
age. So you're like, to me, you're an old head. We call an old head, right?
Yeah.
Porque
you came when you were, you know, under
jovencito, 5 years old, 4 years old. With you specifically, lo que me gusta es que vos viniste como adulto.
Sí, a los 13 ya.
Entonces vos viviste en tu país. Yo no viví en mi país. So I learned from you because to me it's important to connect with my culture. No quiero perder mi cultura. You know, I don't make reasons que venimos en ese tiempo que no podíamos hablar español. No, bro. Nosotros somos latinos, you know, nicaragüenses, right?
So you would say that there are certain things to survive and thrive in this country that we should embrace, pero don't forget where you come from. No te olviden, don't get lost, don't get whitewashed, right? No te conviertas.
Well, you know, I agree with you, but for the sake of social, if you don't maintain who you are, this is important.
True.
Then you're a canvas to your surroundings. Entonces, si yo soy un blanco canvas y no tengo mis pensamientos, no tengo la fundación, no tengo la forma de ser, entonces cualquier persona puede pintar esa pintura, ese retrato, you know? So I've always been like that. And I do know that mi tío Enrique, él me dijo, ¿cómo va a ser nicaragüense vos ni hablar de idioma? Because at one point I lost it. Entonces me dijo eso, and that hurt me. I look up to him, and que en paz descanse. Pero él me dice, ¿cómo va a decir que sos nicaragüense si vos no hablas español? So now in today's world, it's bullyism. No, I was like, holy crud. So every time that moment came, I meet people like you or people like Juan Martinez and like to learn like how did you learn Spanish? And it always ties to your upbringing. Now, can you maintain your culture sin hablar el idioma? Absolutely. Con tradiciones, la comida y entendiendo la historia. So when I talk to you, I don't look at you as a Dominican. I look at you as a 13-year-old who lived 13 years of their life in otro país. And I just find that interesting. A lot of people don't, because I think for whatever reason, that's the best way to maintain your culture, is to live through others.
Even, now that you say that, there are some folks too that do maintain the culture and not necessarily through the language, which is important.
Yeah, I'm one
the
of
language
them. I'm one of them. Chino. Tengo la sangre china.
And you have maintained that culture too, and you respect it. And you embraced it.
But you brought that out. I'm not gonna fake. I'm not gonna fake the funk, because yo soy nicaragüense.
Yeah.
Con sangre china y orgulloso. Pero yo nací en Nicaragua. Mis padres nacieron en Nicaragua. And so when the Barrio Chino came out, it was a little bit nerve-wracking for me, because I didn't want to be, que yo soy chino. But con tiempo, yo soy el nieto de Armando Tam y José Antonio Wong. You know what I'm saying? So, but you brought that out in me. So it's never too late to know your culture, even if you don't speak the language.
You're embracing all parts of you.
Yeah,
the fabric that
if I do it for myself, I do it for everybody else.
I hear you, man.
If I do it for myself, I do it for myself. But this country, que es una vergüenza. They get bro, it's still the best country.
Yeah.
You want to make more money? Let's go work. You want to go have arepas? Man, it's from Venezuela and Colombia. You want to go have, carne en su jugo? Go to a Mexican restaurant. It's the best country when it comes to food and everything.
You're saying that, and I totally agree with it, is that we should protect ourselves, right? Pero also don't dwell so much in that space that there are opportunities out there still.
You can't dwell on that. It's gonna eat you up alive, man.
Yeah.
You get angry, you want to beat this person up, but it's just gonna eat you up alive.
You might even put roadblocks in front of you that don't even exist.
Yeah, because the way you act might turn someone off that can change your life.
Yeah.
That's why, that's why when I'm in a room, you've seen me in rooms, I don't talk unless I have to. I don't talk unless I can execute, or I have a track record of doing it. That's why you have all these so-called heroes on social media. If you look at the social media, lo que han hecho, ahí está. ¿Quieres saber lo que uno hace? Anda a ver lo que suben ahí en las redes sociales. Eso te dice todo. You cannot be esto when nothing shows you have. And that's my biggest pet peeve. Aunque sean latinos, aunque parezcan a nosotros, si ellos están diciendo que ellos hacen y no tienen nada de enseñar, de mostrar que lo hicieron, then you're just lying and making us look stupid. So that's why, man, you got to embrace it. And it's like when you become a person, you attract like-minded people. So if you're not a good person, you're not going to attract good people. You're going to attract dumb people. Life's too short, man. I think everyone deserves a fair shot.
I hear you.
So where do we go from here? Where pasó de moda.
Moving forward.
How are you raising your child to be?
I think the thing that you mentioned earlier about, your parents and your family being there for you and giving you that confidence. That's has been my main thing with my son, is that, me and my wife, we're just inculcándole that que sean seguros en mismo, that to walk with confidence, right? There are certain things, the way that I was raised, and I know the resources, and they didn't have the tools at the time. He's at the stage that he's asking a lot of questions. And I'm not being dismissive, aunque sea lo que sea. There's certain questions that he asks me, like, what is this?
Yeah.
I didn't even think
You don't want him to feel intimidated by asking you a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when you go out into the world, right, when you go to those interviews, tú no estás nervioso, you're not all,
Yeah.
What are they going to ask me?
It is a cruel world.
It is a cruel world, because it's that from the beginning, it shows up everywhere in your life.
Yeah.
Every step that you go, in school, work, in your relationship, the people around you, and how you navigate that world. But when you already have that foundation that you were talking about earlier, aunque sea te dieron esto, that's what my main concern has been, of, para que en el futuro he walks in confidence and becomes self-sufficient.
Yeah.
También.
And you have to, I'm sure, let him fail.
Let him fail, yeah. Let him. I tell him, a veces hace cosas, hey, that's okay. Just don't dwell on that. Try again. Try again. Don't get too, because kids and a lot of adults, we do get frustrated with certain things that don't come out the way that we want.
But you got to let him live his life.
Absolutely. That's true. That is true.
It's easier said than done, trust me. And I'm not a parent yet, pero I learn from you on that stuff because what I see sometimes, and this is what I can say, a mí no me gusta cuando yo veo los niños de ignorantes. Because you're not giving them a shot at succeeding in the society.
But you have a pretty good grasp of.
Because I'm a student, but not everyone's a student.
Oh, okay.
I like to be a student. If I'm not the dumbest and brokest in the room, then I'm the biggest come mierda there is. Porque yo quiero aprender. That's a challenge too. Coming over as a young immigrant, to older parents, que I'm the one that's responsible for the next época de nuestra vida. Their job was done. They came to the United States. They gave us a better quality of life, vivieron su vida, los criaron nosotros. Now it's my job to make sure I and my kids and my wife don't go through what our parents had to go through. That's called progression. See, we cannot still be doing the same thing 10 years from now, 5 years from now. We didn't inherit wealth. So we have to create those opportunities so our kids have better choices, better options, so yeah.
One of the things that you said that is pretty much that I think every parent should hear is that our kids' lives, they're their lives. They don't belong to us in a sense that, because I know a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure it's difficult too, that they give their children a space, they build this world for them, but they want to confine them in that world of, this is what you got to do for me. So hopefully for me, the way that I see it is that, I would want him to do something that he's happy in. Pero I'm not the one telling him you got to do that. Yeah,
and that's your son, so you do what you want.
You do what you want.
But I think with time, the ignorant parents are going to regret their lives when their kids don't turn out to be or ended up being bad kids, and that's the worst thing to do with depression, right? And even though they're ignorance and it was their fault, yo también tengo empathy que ellos se van a poner en depresión. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
How important is it to speak both languages?
Oof.
And don't be afraid.
For me, I've read other studies, right?
Yeah.
There are the studies part of that opens you up for so many different things, right? Of seeing the world differently. Because there are studies on that the language itself is that it is how you of course interpret the world. And a lot of people don't know is that in Spanish can be completely different in certain things than when you think about it in English.
Yeah.
When you see it in English, when you see, and that has given us, I think, such an edge in seeing a problem from multiple angles.
Yeah, como uno piensa. Well, that's why I admire you, because you were 13, bro. I was a young kid.
Pero you're
I had to train myself on that. I had to train myself, and I got lucky that I had mi tío Enrique harass me when I was in 6th grade. Pero es difícil. I'll say this, en estos tiempos que tenemos ahorita, es más fácil aprender otro idioma.
Es más fácil.
It's become easier access to learn Mandarin, Cantonese, Spanish, French, Chinese, whatever.
I think I'm out of issue. I was tenía una inquietud, because immigrants have that inquietud of we got to better ourselves in this country, because somebody gets that opportunity.
I get that.
Not everybody gets that opportunity. So I was like, I have to learn English. I have to, get to the point that I can navigate the world like a native speaker.
Yeah.
But I was risking losing the Spanish at a professional.
You're lucky you had your mother.
But también la familia.
I saw it.
My parents, talking in Spanish. But I did, when I was in high school, I did take Spanish classes.
Yeah.
But porque I was like, damn, I'm losing my Spanish too. Yeah. And it got to the point, brother, when I got here, right, it was like I used to translate todo lo que escuchaba a español. And then it got to the point that all the Spanish, I was translating it to English. And I was like, what am I doing? This is my culture, this is my life.
Yeah.
Why am I treating Spanish itself like a foreign language? esa es mi lengua madre, como que digamos, mi primera lengua.
I look at Luka Doncic, you know, in the league. He speaks Spanish. He played in in Spain. Nowadays, it's so much more access to learning a different language that I think is very important because of not only maintaining your culture, pero también las oportunidades que hay en este país. You can communicate with more people. So, but a lot of time our people say que it's okay en el momento. Pero todos los primos míos that their kids are having challenges, they now say, okay, see, I wish they would have learned Spanish. But they're learning it because you can learn it now.
You can learn it a lot easier.
But 10 years ago, it was hard to learn another language.
It's a lot easier right now because people do learn through YouTube. Folks.
Yeah, I don't feel any less Chinese because I don't speak the language. But yo nací en Nicaragua, soy nica. Pero yo no me siento menos chino porque no hablo el idioma. No. Eso es lo que le pasó en la historia de nosotros.
Because you have been removed multiple generations from.
Yeah, de 13 years old se fueron a China y Nicaragua. Pero si alguien aquí me dice, si un chino me dice yo no soy chino, yo sé, bueno, yo soy chino, sangre china, no hablo el idioma porque yo nací en Nicaragua. Pero no me siento menos chino ahora como antes. Yo soy orgulloso.
Would you have liked to learn any other Chinese language?
I gotta go back to el barrio chino de mi abuelos. I got to try to learn it. And if not me, our kids. So no, absolutely.
But I think that when you be visiting, you wouldn't be, viviendo ahí.
Nah.
When you live in an area, you are gonna.
Listen, I love Nicaragua, but it's difícil. Sin wifi y zancudos, it's hard, bro. It's hard. No. Pero we have to embrace our assets.
That's true.
No cuesta nada hacer dominicano. No cuesta nada ser nicaragüense. No cuesta nada aprender la cultura china. Or whatever culture is free.
I mean, it opens up a whole new world.
You know who you are, bro. Remember I told you, you're a canvas. And if you don't know who you are or what you're trying to paint, then everyone can paint you.
And one of the things that, it takes, with that also, it takes discipline.
Yeah.
Like you're saying. And that, right now, that you reminded me of that discipline, too, that when it comes to empathy, one of the things that we were talking about earlier, that also has to be worked on.
Yeah.
And when you speak and you are surrounded by different cultures, right? That is building up that empathy, keeping it alive. I believe so.
Yeah, well, because listen, when we all go to heaven's gate, bro, God's gonna see how you treated people. Straight up. Yeah. Straight up. And if you live your life with imposter syndrome, or you live your life seeking validation from others, you're going to waste a beautiful life. That's the thing that I always push you. Don't be complacent, because I hold myself not to be complacent. So either way, everyone is attached. So if you live seeking validation or you live with a little bit of imposter syndrome, let's get over it, because we have a beautiful life that's going to waste.
Hey, I think what you're saying is right. There's got to be a balance, right? You got to work on yourself.
Yeah.
You got to work and build your confidence.
You know what? You help me out more by your successes than by you telling me what to do. Because your success shows me what's possible and how you did it. But when you tell me things, I may not listen until I see it. That's how people are.
Yeah. Los niños son así también.
Exactly.
Aprenden por ejemplo, no por lo que uno le dice.
Aprenden por ejemplo. You know, I was talking earlier today, a couple of things. Number one, I like what he said. He said, las conversaciones que pasan hoy de lo que están divididos, lo que están peleando, he says, that only happens at smaller tables. It doesn't happen at the top table. So I learned that today. That's number one. And then I told him this. I said, I try to judge people by their actions, not by their accents. An accent just means they speak more than one language. Pero I judge people by their actions, not by their accents.
I like that.
Yeah, I do that.
But like that.
Yeah, si son come me, easy. I know what you are.
Yeah.
Si son un héroe, then you're a hero. Si estás haciendo bien esto, yo ya vi cómo hiciste, yo quiero aprender. Si vos hablas bien aquí y maltratar a los que no te están viendo, then I know who you really are. I think you just have to look at people. That's why I always tell people, just shut up. Just shut up and listen, observe, y eso es todo. And I do talk a lot for what I do, pero en el caso, la mayoría del tiempo, si no tengo que hablar, no estoy hablando. Yo estoy aprendiendo y notando.
Si no es necesario, right? You don't have to.
I'm cool, I'm chill, bro, I'm good. That's it.
Hey, man, I think we had a great conversation, you and I.
Yeah.
We spoke about so many different things that...
You think we got some gems?
We got a lot of gems. We got a lot of gems.
We're good.
Hay muchas cosas that we spoke about que pasaron de moda.
Yeah,
And
¿cómo manejar la ignorancia?
Cómo manejarla, exacto.
Yeah, I'm going through my notes, that's it.
And how we can move forward as individuals and as a whole.
Yeah, well, when you say move forward, you know, we are what we consume. So tal vez estas conversaciones se identifica con otras personas que tienen dudas. That's what it's there for. We're not trying to be motivational speakers. That's stupid. But it's good to know. That's why I love storytelling. That's why I love watching stories. I love hearing stories. I love long podcasts. I know you try to say, let's keep the No, the podcast should be as long as you need to, because I'm going to watch it over the next 3-6 months like a cookbook, go back to it.
Those are the ones that are taking off right now. We have with Trevor Noah, we have even the ones that you might not like with the Joe Rogan is like 2 or 3 hours long. Club Shay Shay might be 3 hours long.
No. I listen to all of them depending on the story that I want to learn about.
No.
That's why the more podcasts, the better, bro.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a unique story. But anyways, yeah, ese es el tema de Pasó de Moda para conocer más gente. And so that's why it's good that you interview more people here and I interview more people here, because think about it, coast to coast, there are some nuances.
Sure.
Hay ciertas cosas de los dos coasts that are so dope.
And you're saying that we should shut down both coasts.
Trust me.
The way that we're doing, so we can understand each other and find the commonalities instead of fighting each other.
The East Coast should enjoy slamming tacos and burritos. The West Coast should enjoy tostones. You know, there's so many different things from each coast, the music, the culture, the style, and you know what? Social media brings us together.
Sure.
It's just, you can't get mad. I'm embarrassed to be American. Whatever, bro. You should be embarrassed for what you consume to make you feel that way. ¿Tú me entiendes? I like social media. I like to see other people winning because now I learn from you.
Me too.
So for those people who say, I'm embarrassed to be, you should be embarrassed for what you consume, bro. You know, because we control what we consume.
That's very important.
Yeah.
The things that we're consuming.
Don't obsess on today's society.
And I mean, I think you would agree that we shouldn't live in echo chambers, right? But also, it's like you have to be aware of exactly what you said. What are you consuming? Yeah. And how is it changing the way that you think?
Or how you feel. Or how you feel.
Or how you feel. Or how you feel.
Yeah.
Because that's social media. How is it making you feel? And if you don't feel a certain, you know, if it's not guiding you in a positive, that you feel good about yourself, you shouldn't be watching that. You shouldn't be consuming that.
You should look in the mirror and ask yourself what's preventing you from being happy. You should look in the mirror and ask yourself what's making you unhappy. Here's the thing, right? I'm unhappy what's happening in social media. Perfect. So what websites are you looking at? Here's the thing. Don't look at those websites. You want to make more money? Go follow people who are making money. You want to have a happy family life? Go follow content, YouTube, and research it. Test your own game. You know, I want to get married, so I'm going to spend time with people that are happily married. I'm going to learn from people who are happily married. Why would I want to watch racist websites, lazy websites, hang out with lazy people or racists? Let's not make life that's already hard, harder.
Porque está pasado de moda.
Eso ya pasó de moda, bro. Si vos te despertás negativo, eso ya pasó. Eso es culpa tuyo.
Yeah.
Eso ya pasó de moda. You know? You go ahead through.
Yeah.
It's a regular day in Central Park. Look into come here real quick. Come here just say hi to the camera.
Oh, yeah, the camera.
Yeah. What's your name?
Let him on to the side.
What's your name?
If you get here. There you go.
There you go. Thank you. We're good. It's a wrap.
I think we had a great conversation, man. Yeah. We should have more of these.
We will.
And I think you would agree too that, you know, encourage other people too. Is like, júntense, create more content, and talk amongst each other.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna learn a lot from each other, you know.
100%, bro. I learned from you so much, bro.
Hey, igualmente. You gotta.
We're
Vamos
good.
moving forward.